said he's going live.
So now it's on air. So
Yeah, he said it's live now, so it should be working. Right there. Okay. Yeah. She can see you now.
oh, okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Okay,
But I
bye.
don't see her, which is weird. So, oh well. Have you heard
Oh,
from?
Carrie just said, is the webinar working for you? Yes, it is. It is. Go to your Hangouts. So apparently the link that you put on the website on the Facebook, when you click it, it's not taking you actually to this. I got this because I logged into my Hangouts. Or I opened up Hangout and then it says you were on, so I clicked it. Yeah, Carrie just asked me, is the webinar working for you?
Let me try something else on Facebook real quick.
Okay.
So go to Facebook and try the link that I just posted right now.
Okay, I'll try it on
See if
my
that does
phone.
anything. Works on my end.
Works on my end. I'll tell her. He just posted a link in the Facebook group. Click on it. Okay, I just told her. And it takes you to YouTube. Cool.
Yeah.
All this technical stuff.
I just don't think you can ask any questions or anything this way.
Hmm. But if we all went to the Hangout, well, that, like I said, that's how I did it. I just went to my Hangout, saw you, I saw that it was on, and clicked it, and then you pop right up.
Have you heard from John at all?
No, that one's a lost cause, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I think my opinion is just that he was looking for something like, you know, a hardcore workout or a hardcore this, and I think he downplayed the fundamentals of what you were doing in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like I was like, this is only phase one. Phase two is going to be different than phase one. Like we're just getting through phase. And he's like, well, I need more than this. I'm like, okay.
All right, does everybody text you? Is everybody that's going to get on? Is Chris not coming?
No, he's not. He's
Okay.
gonna watch it later. He's with Avery right now. She was not having a real easy time with both of us being gone on this one. So.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started
Okay.
and share my screen. Let me know if this works. Hopefully it does.
There you are. Got it.
Oh, nice. Wow, that looks way better than last time, right?
Yeah, it does.
I think I figured out what I was doing wrong. So, all right. So let's get into this today. Thank you for coming on this nice Monday evening. I don't know what the weather is like in Arizona, but I assume it's way hotter than it is here. And it's hot here. So today we are going to go over the phases of training, what a training periodization or phase program looks like. Before we do that, I just kind of wanted to review the last couple of weeks, go over successes and challenges, and then we'll get into the phases of training. So Jenny, unfortunately, you're the only one that can talk back to me. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, and maybe this is just something that I'll have everybody email me as soon as we're done today. Or no, better yet, why don't you post this in the Facebook page? And you can do it now while we're on the webinar if you want. But what is one thing that has surprised you about yourself in terms of the Game Changer program, and how has it impacted you? So Jenny, do you have one of those that you could give as an example?
What one thing that has surprised me about myself was honestly that I've been able to commit to something when it comes to my health longer than normal and been still excited about doing it. So in the past, I start out really great. You know, I'm great off the line, but finishing the race is always the hard part. And I know this is only phase 1, but I'm still excited, and we're already into week 4, and I still feel excited about what's going to happen this week and to see what progress I'm going to get. And I'm trying to look at the big picture. So I guess that would be the one thing. And then the impact I really think is just knowing that I feel I'm in my own little like community right now of everyone that's going through the same things that I am, maybe in different levels or maybe not necessarily the same hardness or whatever word I want to use for it, but we're all in this together. So I think that how it's impacted me is that I have this little community that I'm with that it's surprised me that I've been able to continue, that I'm still excited at this point.
That's awesome. What's been your greatest challenge in the program so far?
Consistency with eating healthy. I can do great 5 days a week, and Saturday and Sunday not so great. And really trying to force myself to do that. I know the next one is, what have I done to overcome it? Not beat myself up if I make a hiccup. That's really important, I think, in this challenge that we're doing and this life change that I'm going through at this point, is to accept that maybe I didn't do great now, but I always have an opportunity to do great the next time or tomorrow, and to not beat myself up over it.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's not about, you know, the immediate gratification. It's the long-term effects, and understanding that even if you fall off the path for the short term, it's not about the fact that you fell off the path or that you had a small hiccup, ate something that you think you shouldn't have eaten. It's about how fast you're able to pick yourself up and get back on track. And that's the biggest thing, because it's so easy. And I think that you would probably agree that it's something that's probably affected you in the past, where you've started off, you've done good, and then something happens, and you have a moment of weakness, and you eat something that you shouldn't have eaten, and well, darn it, there's no sense in whatever. I'm just going to keep eating whatever I want now and just screw it, because it's easier to just beat up on yourself than it is to realize that you're worth it, and that you have the willpower. So that's awesome that you've been able to overcome those things. And then the rest of you guys, if you don't mind, just post the answers to these questions in the Facebook group. Let's get some dialogue going around this, because I think this is something that could really help everybody else out around successes and challenges that you've experienced so far in the program. So, all right. So today we're gonna switch gears, and we've been talking a lot about hormones and nutrition. Today I want to talk a little bit about training and phases of training. We're coming up on the end of the first phase, which is the foundation phase, and we're going to be moving into the intensity phase. So I wanted to spend today and just talk a little bit about what those phases look like and why they're important, why it's important to start where we started and why we're going to progress at the next level. So there's a term used called periodization, and this is my definition of periodization. It's not the definition, but the way I define it is it's a systematic approach to programming that provides specific outcomes that can be built upon to allow for continued progress. So when we look at phases of training, I like to use a simple 3-phase model. Phase 1 is the foundation phase, phase 2 is the intensity phase, and then phase 3 is the maintenance phase. So we're going to get in and we're going to dive into all 3 of these phases here in a second. So phase 1, well, we start with the foundation phase in order to develop a base of fitness. So just like building a house, in the foundation phase, it's going to provide solid ground from which we can continue to improve, right? So if you're going to build a house, you have to lay the foundation first. You can't just start putting up walls and then expect to put a ceiling up. Everything's going to crumble and fall down. Unfortunately, in fitness, a lot of times that's what happens is people get excited, they get into the gym, they look on YouTube or Instagram, they see these really cool exercises that these people that have been exercising for years are doing, and they go out there and they want to do those exercises. And they don't understand that if you don't have that good baseline level of fitness or function, then your risk of injury goes way up. So without the foundation phase, we miss out on crucial elements that will increase our overall results. So kind of like what Jenny alluded to a few minutes ago with John is, you know, he kind of downplayed the idea of what this foundation phase is, and he was looking for something that was just really, you know, a kick-butt workout. And not to say that it can't be, and I think that everybody that's actually done the foundation phase the way I've written the workout will agree that it actually can be pretty challenging when you do it the right way. So focus of the foundation phase, well, first and foremost is corrective exercise. We want to identify and correct muscle imbalances and faulty movement patterns. So a muscle imbalance is where you have a muscle on one side of a bone that is overactive or tight, and the opposite muscle on the other side of the bone would be underactive or weak. So a very, very common muscle imbalance is the chest muscle to the back muscles. A lot of times, because of the way we live, you know, we sit in front of a computer all day long, or we sit in front of the TV, or we're in the car, our pec muscle, our chest tend to get very shortened and tight, and they pull on our shoulders. They pull our shoulders forward, and it's a condition called protracted shoulders, or more, you know, more technically termed called kyphosis. Well, on the other side of the body, the back muscles, so the muscles in the back of the shoulders, the trapezius and the rhomboids, those muscles get stretched out and they get weak. So they're not able to hold your shoulders back in the position that they should be. So what ends up happening is over time, over years of doing that, your muscles in the back, they really want to pull your shoulders back. So they work really hard all the time, but they just don't have the strength to do it. But that's where we tend to hold a lot of tension, and we get stress that builds up in there, and that's how we start having pain and things that affect our upper back into our upper spine and into our skull. The second focus would be stability and balance, right? So we want to improve our ability to maintain stability in a stable and unstable environment. So most of the time, we're in a stable environment. We're walking on solid ground. We are, you know, we have both feet. But a lot of times throughout the day, it happens a lot, we're in an unstable environment. So think about when you are stepping down off of a curb or down from some stairs, or you have to turn very sharply onto one foot. Those are unstable environments. So if we can increase your ability to be stable in unstable environments, then you're gonna be even more stable in a stable environment. So if we can increase your ability to balance on one leg, right? That's gonna not only increase your stability, but now we're talking about balance between the front or the left and the right side of the body. And then we talk about balance between the front and the back and the top and the bottom. So all of those things are very important. And then the third thing about foundation phase is core strength. Increasing core strength and function allows you better overall movement and strength in everything you do. Every single movement that our body does emanates from the core. So the stronger a core is, the better every other movement will be. And it's a lot about just learning how to activate the core effectively and the way that's going to get you the most out of it. Average length of the foundation phase is anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks. It can be shorter, it can be longer. A lot of that just kind of depends on the individual, on the consistency of the training, and how much you're putting into it. Second phase, intensity phase. So once we've built that foundation, then we can move to the intensity phase. The intensity phase is where you will really start to see the results start to happen. This is where you start to notice that your clothes fit differently, that you're seeing muscles have definition that you're not used to seeing. This is where your significant other starts to notice things when you're changing clothes, or you get out of the shower or something like that. The variables of training are manipulated here. So we start to manipulate sets, reps, weight, how much rest time, the tempo of the exercise, so all those fun things. And we get to really jack up how hard it is that we work. So this is where we start to now make you work a little bit harder. And we'll challenge your metabolic pathways differently, and it provides an additional stimulus to create that change. So focus here, first and foremost, is going to be hypertrophy. We want to start to build some muscle that'll help you move better, and it'll help you with fat burning. The more muscle your body has, the more calories your body is going to burn, especially those fat calories. So I'm not talking about turning anybody into a bodybuilder, and I'm not talking about you guys having, jacked muscles and all that kind of stuff. So ladies, just relax a little bit. You're not going to be a bodybuilder or look like a CrossFit competitor. But building some lean muscle will just help out with everything, help you move and help you burn fat better. Then we're going to go into a strength phase, where we're going to we'll really increase the amount of weight you're lifting. We're going to lower the repetitions, increase the rest time a little bit, probably slow down the tempo. But this is where we're going to now take some of that extra muscle we've built and turn it into some strength, make you stronger. This is important because it's going to allow you to be able to lift higher loads. And the higher the load, or the more weight you lift, the higher the metabolic demand on the body. And that metabolic demand is what's going to ultimately create that long-term change. And then from there, we go into a power phase. So we're not going to get into a crazy power phase. You guys aren't going to be doing barbell snatches and clean and jerks and things, but we will start to incorporate some plyometric work, what you can handle as long as it doesn't injure you. And that's going to help build some explosive movement and the ability for that's crucial for demands of daily life. So again, when you think about plyometrics is jumping, right? So some type of jump, and it's a rapid shortening and then lengthening of the muscle, right? So it's not about how high we can jump. A lot of times it's about the ability to slow your body down when you land, right? So if you think about a basketball player, those guys jump really high. Well, they don't get injured when they jump. They get injured when they land. And it's because they have to decelerate. They have to slow their body down against gravity as they hit the ground. So that's really important to be able to develop that level of strength and power to be able to protect our body from injury. And the average length of this lasts anywhere from 8 to 20 weeks, again, depending on the goal and depending on the length of the program that is written. And then the third phase is the maintenance phase. So once we achieve our goal, then that's when we move into maintenance. So maintenance is all about training for lifelong results. So hopefully at this point, you should have developed the skills and habits necessary to continue your fitness for the rest of your life. So focus here, again, just maintain results. This is where we get to just do some fun, challenging new workouts, things that we can do to continue to improve your fitness. A lot of times what happens is when we get into that third phase is when, people decide, all right, well, I want to set a new goal. And we kind of start from the beginning, start over at the beginning of the phases and say, okay, well, what do we need to do to prepare your body for this new goal? So whether that goal is, now you want to run a 10K or a half marathon, or you want to do a triathlon, or maybe you want to step on stage and do a bikini show, who knows? There's tons of those different goals out there. Maybe you want to compete in a Spartan race, or you want to, decide you want to start doing CrossFit or weightlifting competitions or something to that effect. There's lots and lots of different things that people can come up with. So that's really about maintenance phase. So that's where you get there, and it's all about just maintaining those results long term. So that's it for the presentation today. I know today is a short one. Does anybody have any questions? Jenny, do you have any questions?
I don't. I'm pretty excited about phase 2. Again, I still think that this is like, I'm okay in my foundation phase. I definitely think I might be more of a 5 or 6 weeker in foundation phase, but that's just my own personal. But I'm excited for the second phase because, I mean, I've lost 6 pounds and I'm really excited about the 6 pounds, and I'm trying to really celebrate and acknowledge the goal that I have lost 6 pounds. At the same time, I'm really looking towards what's going to happen in the next 4 weeks, like where I'm going to start feeling the difference. Because yes, my scale is showing me I'm 6 pounds down, but I don't feel it yet. And that's okay. I'm really trying to allow myself to be okay with whatever progress I've made up to now. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. And I know where my failure was the last time when I quit smoking, because I haven't smoked a cigarette in over 2.5 years. When I quit smoking, I started working out. I was trying to give up a habit and gain a habit at the same time, my mental thought process. And I worked out for 6 weeks and I felt really good in those 6 weeks. And I know I was making progress because my clothes was fitting better. But the scale wasn't moving and I mentally torpedoed myself. And I know that now I know that if I would have gone another 4 weeks, those differences that I was really looking for would have shown up.
Yep.
And I would have seen it, and it would have made a difference. So I think I'm right at that phase where I'm going, oh my goodness, okay, this next phase is where I'm really going to start seeing things, and I'm excited to see what that's going to bring for me.
And this is also brings up a good point about using those other measurements, like the circumference measurements, because you will start to see changes in the size of those measurements faster than you will see changes in the scale. So actually what will start to happen is the scale weight will probably stop changing so much. Like pounds a week is pretty much what you've been averaging. That's pretty good. And that's what we consider, excellent and sustainable weight loss. What we'll notice though is that weight loss will stop and the inches will start to change. So hopefully you've already noticed some change in the way your clothes fit and that kind of thing.
I was able to put on a pair of shorts this weekend that I have not ever been able to wear. So they're not fitting perfect yet, but I was actually able to zip and button them. I'm still not sure I'm going to wear in public because they're still a little too tight, but the fact that I was actually able to get them over my hips and on and zipped and buttoned was huge. So that's the only pair so far I've really seen a difference in. But again, I mean, I've got to focus that it's going to happen and just be along for the ride and be okay with where I'm at right now.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. So everybody else, if you guys don't mind, again, post in the Facebook group if you guys have any questions about anything I've gone over, anything at all about the program, where you're at. Again, hopefully everybody has posted some of their successes and some of their challenges so that we can, as a group, start to help everybody out and come up with ideas and best practices that work for, if something works great for Jenny or works great for Kim, then it could potentially work really good for everybody. So I think that's going to be the other real benefit of the program, is it's not just me providing all of these answers, that I can facilitate the discussion and throw in some science and some professional advice, but it's those real world kind of solutions that I think is going to help everybody do a lot better at maintaining and doing good with the program. So just as a reminder, I haven't been getting any real measurement updates from everybody, and it's really important that you guys are continuing to do that. I know it may be slightly frustrating sometimes if things aren't changing the way you want to, but that's okay. We want to see that you're making progress, and we want to see that and that's also part of the accountability factor. If you know that you are going to send those measurements in, you're probably going to stick to the program a little bit better than otherwise. So I appreciate you guys. You guys are kicking butt. I love it that everybody is really taking advantage and jumping into the Facebook page and posting your food and your workouts and all that kind of stuff. And I've been having a blast, you know, commenting and conversing with everybody that way as well. So if you guys need anything, please feel free to reach out either through email, text, on the Facebook page. Jenny, stop smiling at me.
Why? I really enjoy. I enjoyed the comments from Jeremy and I both noticed from the last webinar that we had together. Your comments started coming really good and really thick, and both Jeremy and I commented on it that, like, the atta girl and keep it up, and it was like, yes, like it gave you that little bit of a boost, and especially coming again from the coach, you know, that it was good to have.
All right, I'm gonna flex my bicep for you guys one more time.
Okay, there it is.
Yep, the gun show. That was for Carrie and Cam. You're welcome. Anyways, you guys have a good night. If anybody needs anything, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys soon.
All right, thanks, Josh.
Thank you.